Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys my 2016 favorites. And these are going to be a mixture of makeup, beauty, hair, and a few added extras. So if you guys are interested, definitely keep on watching. So I'm going to start off with hair care since that's what I have the most of, obviously. So one of my favorite conditioners of this year has been the Tresemme Expert Selection Botanique. This has a mixture of coconut milk and aloe vera. I mentioned this in a previous video. The first time I tried the masked version, which I loved, but it was really hard to find in stores. So instead, when I went to the store, I was able to find the conditioner version, which is just as awesome. It smells great, and it really, really moisturizes your hair very well. So I'm loving this conditioner currently. Another one of the conditioners that I discovered this year is the Shea Moisture Superfood Complex. It's a 10-in-1 renewal system, and it has marula oil and biotin. And typically, I'm very cautious about the type of oils that I use on my hair since my scalp is very sensitive, but I've never tried marula oil, so I was excited to give it a try and see how it worked, and it works awesome. It definitely helped to strengthen my hair because of the biotin in it. So I used this when I washed my hair after it was straightened, and it definitely helped to revive the curls. I felt like my hair was a lot stronger, and so I really liked it. The only downside to this is because my hair is more on the low porosity side, it can kind of get protein overload very easy. So I have to make sure that I rotate this regularly with one of my moisturizing conditioners, or else my hair ends up feeling very brittle and kind of like straw-like. But it definitely does make a difference as far as the strength of my hair. Another one of my favorite conditioners is the Biolage Hydro Source Conditioning Balm. I love this conditioner. It smells great. It really does have like a balmy consistency. And again, I think I talked about this last year in my favorites, but I'm bringing it back again because I had stopped using it because it is super expensive. But this year I went Black Friday shopping and I went to Ulta and I was just, perusing the aisles, and little did you know, I found that Biolage was having a buy one get one free sale, so I jumped on it. These are the last two left, so of course I had to buy them. And so it was a really awesome deal because I got two for about $18 because I also had a coupon, so that's like $9 each when they're usually $20+. So bomb. But I love this conditioner because it really does effectively moisturize your hair, and especially if you're someone who has a lot of frizz, one thing that helps to combat frizz is to make sure that your hair is efficiently moisturized. Because what happens is if your hair is not really moisturized very well, when you go outside, it's just going to try and take the moisture from the atmosphere, making your hair look frizzy and just poofy. And so this kind of creates a coating over the hair, so it locks in that moisture and it also prevents your hair from getting as frizzy. I think I mentioned the last time that the first time I used this, I actually had put my hair in twists and they hadn't dried all the way, and I took it out anyway. And I had minimal frizz after using this as a conditioner. So that was just a miracle in itself. So definitely check this out if you haven't already. Next up for hair care, I really have been wanting to try this product for a long time. This is the NYX LeaveIn conditioner. And if you've seen this in store, it's about between $15 to $20. So again, I could not bring myself to spend that amount of money on something that I didn't know if it was going to work or not. But I found these little sample sizes in Target earlier this year. So I got this little size for $3.38. And the reason I wanted to use this is this year I've definitely been focusing on making sure that my edges are thick and healthy, and they are the weakest part of my hair, especially in the temple area. And I noticed when I was using a lot of heavy gels, because I pretty much use gel along my edges every day just to lay down my edges and make it look nice and neat. And I noticed over time when I was constantly using that hard gel, it just made my edges more prone to breakage. So I was like, well, let me switch to something that's a little bit of a lighter hold. It may not be as, slick down, but at least I'll have edges to slick down at the end of the day. And this does the job. Next up, this is also a hair gel. This is the Gorillaz Not Gel. This is the truth. If you have not tried this before, you need to try it now. So this isn't something that I use every day on my hair to gel it down like if I'm wearing it in a bun. And I honestly use it mixed in with my Eco Styler gel, and I use the clear basic Eco Styler gel, and I'll mix the two together because this is a super strong hold. This one is the let's see. This one is the indestructible hold, so it's all the way to level 10. But if you have a special event that you're going to, or you just want your edges to be snatched and you want your hair to be laid, this is where it's at. Last but not least, for hair care, I've always wanted to try the Shea Moisture coconut and hibiscus cream. I originally bought the larger version, but it just really didn't agree with my scalp. Even if I put it just on the ends, my scalp was like angry with me by the next day. And so I wanted to give it a try again and see, like, okay, maybe now if I try it again, it'll be a little bit better. And this time I actually got the kids version. So this is the kids curling cream, and it has slippery elm and marshmallow extract. I compared it to the original formula, and it's literally a difference of one ingredient, and this is actually cheaper. And then for some reason, this actually agrees with my scalp a lot more than the adult version. And I actually went back and tried that one again, and same thing. The next day, my scalp was angry. Next up for my favorites, we're going to move into makeup and skincare. So probably one of the best products that I tried this year is this MD Solar Sciences Mineral Cream SPF. And I'm not typically, in the past, I haven't really been big on sunscreen just because it's really difficult to find a sunscreen that, one, agrees with my skin, that doesn't make me look ashy, that doesn't break me out, and that actually is a higher SPF. And so sometimes it's hard to find something that achieves all of those things. But this year I made it a goal to try and find a sunscreen that works for me, because previously I just wasn't using sunscreen at all, which I know is not smart because I live in Florida and the sun is out 24/7. And so earlier this year, Sephora did like a little sun kit where it was like about 14 or 16 different sun care products, whether it's like an SPF or just a moisturizer, and it was about $20. And it was all little sample sizes. So I decided to give it a try, and this is one of the ones that came in that kit. This is the first one that I tried, and I tried it because it says on the back that it's for all skin types, including acne, rosacea prone, and sensitive. It's non-comedogenic, meaning it doesn't clog your pores. It's water resistant up to 80 minutes, and it's also a matte finish. So it pretty much achieves all those things. It doesn't break my face out. It's matte because it's mineral based. It's a higher SPF, so I can be out in the sun for a long time without worrying about reapplying this. And it's just awesome. Like, I can show you guys the consistency just to get an idea. And you can see this mix in perfectly. Like, it's matte. You can't even tell anything is there. It's not gray. It's not whitish. It just blends into my skin so perfectly. So definitely check this out if you guys are interested. All the products that I mentioned, I will put in the description box below, so check it out. Next up for skincare, I decided to try the Simple brand products this year, so I have a few things that I've tried from them. This is the Replenishing Rich Moisturizer, and it says that it works for up to 12 hours, which it definitely does. If you put it on in the morning, if you feel your skin in the evening, it's still going to be moisturized. And for me, I have combination oily skin, so my skin is oily in the T-zone, so across my forehead and on my cheeks, but for some reason around my mouth and chin area gets super dry, and especially in the winter. And it's really just uncomfortable because, you know, you're trying to talk and chew or do whatever, and then you can just feel the dryness around your mouth. So I decided to try this to see if that would help, and it does the job perfectly. The only downside to this is I can only use it on those areas that are dry, because if I try and use it on my cheeks or my forehead, it'll literally be like a slip and slide in 5 minutes. But if you are someone who has dry skin all over, or you just have dry patches, this is definitely worth trying. The next skincare product that I tried this year is this Up and Up 10% benzoyl peroxide gel, and Up and Up is the Target brand. And so this is really good for acne and breakouts, just to help get rid of them faster. And for me, I can definitely be impatient when it comes to breakouts, and it has bit me in the butt before, because I remember a few years ago I combined a bunch of different products that I shouldn't have to try and make this little pimple, and it was right on my cheek right here. I was trying to make it go away, mixed all this stuff together, and gave myself a chemical burn. And literally I had a black mark on my face for at least a week until it peeled off and I got new skin there. And from that, I decided to be more careful about the things that I put on my skin. So this, I was actually looking for something that I could use during the day that, number one, wouldn't cause more hyperpigmentation, and number two, most importantly, not give me a chemical burn from staying on my face all day. So this, I actually found that I can put it on underneath my makeup, and it actually helps so that throughout the day, it's like decreasing the size of the pimple. Because I don't know if you guys have the same experience where you wake up and you know, just a little baby pimple, and then you come back and it's turned into a monstrosity by the end of the day. And so this helps just to keep that under control throughout the day. Next up for my favorite makeup products this year is the Benefits Porefessional Primer. I love this primer. I originally decided to try it because around my cheeks I have a lot of larger pores and sometimes my makeup can kind of set into those pores. So I decided to give it a try and it works awesome. I pretty much just use this as my primers. I know some people will use this in the areas where they do have larger pores and then switch to the regular primer for everywhere else. But I noticed that this pretty much does the job pretty well because previously I was using the Sephora. Previously I was using the Sephora primer, but I found that the Sephora primer was just too oily for the summer months because although when I first would do my makeup, it would be a really nice finish, it would be nice and dewy and glossy, but by the end of the day, it would literally melt off my face, which is not cute. So I like the Benefits Porefessional because it still has that silicone texture, but it's more of a matte finish. That way it helps the makeup to stick on your face, but it's not going to be oily and sticky and melt off throughout the day. This is my favorite lip product for the year. This is the NYX Plump It Up Lip Plumper. And I know what you guys are saying. I do not need a lip plumper. My lips are fine. I personally think my lips are fine. I don't want them any bigger, any smaller. But the reason why this is awesome is because for anyone who likes wearing matte lip glosses or like cream-based lipsticks, sometimes they can set into the lines of your lips over time. So even if when you first put it on, it looks bomb, throughout the day, it just starts kind of getting crusty and not so cute. So my sister actually introduced me to this because I don't know why, but she's been obsessed with lip plumper since she was a little girl. So when I first saw her with it, I was like, oh, here we go. But she showed me how well it works and I was hooked ever since. So basically, I just use a little bit of it if I use like a cream or a matte lipstick, or even if you just use a lip liner to fill in your lips and then use this just in the center. It helps to fill out your lips so it's like a smooth canvas instead of all the little lines of your lips. And then my next favorite, this really doesn't have a category, but I really wanted to share it. This is my Waterpik, aka Bae. And this has been my favorite purchase of this year. So for me, I've had braces. I've had every single contraption you can think of. You're thinking about it, I've had it. And so for me, I have a love-hate relationship with like flossing, especially because, you know, while you have braces, it's not very easy. You have to get the little threaders to be able to thread in between the braces. And even now I have permanent retainers on the front 2 teeth as well as the 4 bottom teeth. So it's just really annoying to have to get the regular floss plus the little threaders plus the little ones to use between your teeth, and I just don't have time for it. And so I decided to invest in a Waterpik, and it has been the best decision of my entire life. Well, my life so far in the 25 years of living. But it's just, when you use it, your mouth feels so fresh because literally every nook and cranny has been flushed and cleaned. Anything that may be stuck there, it helps get off the plaque. And like I said, it's really good if you either have braces or permanent retainers because it's really easy to get in, to get between the gum and in between the retainers. So the last section of my favorites is going to be all my DIY favorites for the year. I decided to incorporate my DIYs just because that's a lot of my routine, whether it's skincare or body care. So I wanted to share with you guys some of the ones that I have been using religiously this year. So the first one is my DIY body scrub. I did a recipe, or I did a video for this in my summer body hack, so I'll link it up here or link it below. And basically it is a mixture of Epsom salt, sugar, and jojoba, and then you can add whatever fragrance you want. So this time when I refilled it, I did a mixture of lavender and lemongrass, and it smells heavenly. It made my bathroom smell so good when I first mixed it together. And I kept thinking, like, what is that awesome fragrance? I'm like, oh, yes, it's my scrub. But it smells so good. And it's so easy to make because pretty much everyone most likely has sugar at their house. A lot of people have Epsom salt because people like to soak their feet, soak their body. And then all you have to do is get extra oil or whatever fragrance. And you honestly don't need fragrance. It just kind of makes it more luxurious. Next up for my DIYs, this is empty, but this is my DIY shea butter cream. I mix together shea butter, coconut oil, and jojoba oil, and I use a little hand blender and whip it up. And this is awesome. Like, Shea butter on its own is great because it definitely helps to moisturize and nourish the skin, but sometimes it can be a little bit too heavy or like greasy, if that makes sense. So mixing it in with the coconut oil and jojoba, it's just like whipped butter gliding across your skin. And I don't have a recipe for this, or I don't have a video for it, because there's so many recipes out there for shea butter cream, and you can kind of adjust it to your needs or how you want your cream to come out. Another one of my DIYs that I've been using a lot this year is my arrowroot powder, and this is a alternative to using baby powder because it came out, I don't know if it was this year or last year, that baby powder actually isn't that great, especially for women to be using consistently. So I use this as a traditional baby powder. I also use it when I wax because you put, if you put baby powder on first, it helps to protect the skin. So when you rip the strip off, it's just taking the hair and not your skin with it. So this has been useful for that. I've also tried it as a dry shampoo, and it's basically just great all around. So that is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed my 2016 hair, makeup, beauty, and DIY favorites. Any questions, go ahead and leave them down below. As always, I'm going to put all these products in the description box and any videos that I have linked to some of the DIYs. But I hope everyone has an awesome new year. I hope everyone's getting their goals together for 2017. And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!